About how to plan your career. Many of you all must have answered your 10th standard, 11th standard, and 12th standard exams, especially the 10th and the 12th, since we are waiting their results and are looking forward to the results. Yes, yet it's a time when you're in a dilemma where what to choose, how to choose, which courses to take. So I'll be touching upon how to plan your career rather than the courses that you could take or which colleges to join. If you want to seek further information, you can always contact me later. But before we start, let me tell you a little about the checklist which UNESCO has designed for students on coronavirus diseases. We know it's a difficult time for all of us. We have gone through the 5 phases of lockdown. Many of us might be confined to our homes. And a lot of us may be a little confused, worried, scared, unsure whom to speak with. But this is the best time to probably get involved in activities which you would like. Get involved in your hobbies. Probably when you're having school, it was a very tiring time for you all to get involved in your activities or your hobbies. Try to do that. Try to speak to your family, get closer knit to your family or to your loved ones. Try to talk to people whom you love a lot, because sometimes this is the best time to connect. Remember, students, also try to wash your hands as frequently as possible. It need not be that your hands are dirty for them to wash, but wash them and keep them clean. Do not touch your face. Be a leader in keeping your surrounding clean, your environment clean, your home clean. If you're feeling unwell, please try and tell your family member or someone that is close. If you're not feeling well, you could always tell it to your family member. Now we go on to the presentation on career planning. So a lot of us are right now and going to be starting either getting into the 11th standard or in the 12th standard, and we want to share. And we want to be sure that whatever we take is the best career for us. May it be just arts, it could be commerce, it could be science, it could be vocational. There are a lot of courses students right now, and that's what's most confusing for you all. Because 10 years back, if we look at it, there were less number of courses, less choices, so easier for us to choose. Now that the choices have expanded, the confusions are more, and you need a better clarity on what to choose. Choosing a career is an important aspect of your life. Why? Because a career is something that will be with you in the next 30 years as long as you're working. So what happens here is that when you're choosing a career, it's really important that you choose something that you really like to do. When I say like to do, it has to be something that you're interested in. You could be very interested in drawing, but besides drawing, you have to be also a very creative person. You have to be a very curious person, and so on if you want to join a career in finance. You could be interested, you could love something like drawing again, but you have to know whether you are interested in making a career in architecture. So choose a career based on your interest. At this point of time, it's also important for you to research and choose carefully and thoughtfully. When I say research, try and Google search as many sites as possible on different careers. You have different sites like careers360.com, careersguide.com, idreamcareers.com that give you ample of information on careers. Log into these sites and get information as to what are the careers about, what goes into making that career, what are the opportunities once you finish that course, because once you actually get into a career, it may be a little difficult for you to change your courses at that point of time. Although a lot of students do change their courses, and a lot of students come to me and say, ma'am, I'm not happy. Should I change my course right now? I've completed 1 year of BSc. Is it okay now to go to get into BA? Yes, of course it's okay, but why it's a better time for you when you're in 10th, 11th, and 12th to take the decision than to do it when you're actually in college or when you enter a professional course. You also have books that you could research on, like Careers Guidance by Savita Mahare, which tells a lot about what kind of personality you have to have, what kind of careers, which are the best careers, how to choose a career depending on your personality. You also have a career planning guide given by Devajit Bhuja, which is also quite informative on how you could probably choose a career. When choosing a career, you have to go through an honest evaluation of your skills. When I say honest evaluation of your skills, you will probably have to look at your abilities over here. When I say abilities, it's something that you're naturally good at. Okay, you could be very good in writing, you could be very good in singing, you could be good artist. So these are abilities that we nurture from our childhood. Based on these abilities, okay, you could be a very good creative thinker, you could be good at grasping. Basically these skills have to go in sync with your careers that you choose. So choose the careers that will match your skills. And this probably will be something that you have found out over the years through your childhood as you have grown, or if not, it could the second option could be you could meet a career counselor and get them clarified. Look for things in the job that is close to your interest. Now, when we say a job is far-fetched for you, right now you're probably in the SSC, 12th standard, and you have a long way to go before you probably finish your education and get into a career. But remember that whatever you're interested in doing now will carry forward to your job. Suppose you like a career in meeting people, you like a career in writing, you have a very creative and a curiosity mind, then probably journalism is something that you would like to do. So it has to go along with your interest and your skills. A job that will not only make use of your talent, but will also enhance it. Remember that it's not only the talent that you have that will lead you to your career, but your talent has to grow with you, has to be enhanced for you when you actually get into pursuing your career. Factors to consider. Factors to consider when we are choosing a career. Some of the do's and the don'ts of choosing a career are, right now, many of you try and list down at least 2 or 3 careers that you like, that you look forward to choosing. Based on that career, those careers, you choose your stream. Okay. In a similar manner, those students who are in the 12th standard, look for whether you like a career within humanities, or whether you would like a career within science, or whether in vocational, or it's a professional course. So based on that, you explore your career options or your courses. Get involved. What I mean by get involved, right now you're in the 10th, you're in the 12th standard, and this uncertainty is something that you do not know. But maybe 1 year later, things will get better, things will get normalized for you. Get involved in probably internships, summer programs, summer working at industries, okay, short summer programs at industries, so that you know what is the working in that industry. It will also add value to your resume when you actually get into the job market. Get advice from people in your target. When I say target group is you're interested, say, in doing medicine. Why don't you log into LinkedIn and find people who are medical professionals whom you could interact and see what that profession is all about. You could speak to the career counselor. The career counselor will give you all of the information, but the hands-on knowledge would be from a person who's working in that particular field. So the person could tell you the pros and the cons of that area, of that working in that area. What could be the other linked opportunities if you get into that area? Suppose you finish English. It's not just about doing MA English and teaching. You could get into journalism, you could get into working into different as a translator, you could get working into teaching of English at multinational companies, and there are varied other opportunities within one domain. So if you speak to somebody within your area, it gives you an additional, in the area that you're interested in, it gives you additional information about pursuing that career. Follow your passion. Do something that you really like to do, what you're interested. Do not run after money. Do not take a career just because it is the most glamorous or most exciting career to another person, but rather you choose based on what you really like to do, because that is something that will be with you for a long period of time. Some of the don'ts that you should follow when choosing a career. Don't focus on a major just to get career out of it. Don't do economics, suppose it's economics. Choosing economics just that because you can get into the banking sector or you can get into stock market areas or become an economist. Just because you want to get into these areas, do not do a major. Rather do a course that you would be interested in working after you finish your completing your course. Second don't is do not choose a career because it is cool. Many of the at times we choose a career because it looks glamorous from the outside. We are happy to be looking at people working in a particular profession because it could be a film industry, it could be drama, because it looks all glamorous from the outside. But there are a lot of other things that would come behind it. There are a lot of shortcomings which you need to know before you join into that career. So you need to study a particular career before you get into it. Let no one, let your parents, let not your environment, let not your friends, your colleagues at school or anyone push you into pursuing a career because they want to get you into it. Let's look at some of the steps that we need to look at before we need to choose a career. One of the things is discovering yourself. I've been stressing and I keep telling you all, just try and figure out the kind of person you are before you make a choice. Try and see what you enjoy doing the most. Okay? Do you enjoy painting? Do you enjoy, say, writing? Do you enjoy speaking to people? Okay, so look at your interest before making a choice. Skills, when I say skills, is something what you are naturally good at. You sometimes do not need to learn long pages of lessons for a long period of time, yet you can retain, yet you can recall very fast. So that's a grasping skill that you have. So these skills, you need to look at before you make your choice. You love to work with people. You love to help out. You like hands-on jobs. What is it that you really like to do? What is it that you really have within you? Look at that and make your choices. Personality. When we come to personality, we're looking at a person being introvert or an extrovert. This is something you would probably know from a test or from the personality type when interacting with people. From a test, you would probably know from a psychologist when you test yourself, you would know whether you like to do more of an outdoor work, more of a person are a person who like to communicate with others, and your strengths is something that again you have which is within you and you can build on based on enhancing it. What are the 3 careers that interest me? You could list down at this time, students, about 2 or 3 careers that you like to do. Okay, it could be something within, one could be in arts, one could be in science, or one could be in commerce. Again, you will say that's more confusing for me. Yes, but then within each career, you will have a lot of other requirements or skills that would be required when you get into the job or when you get into the career. Try to list that down. That will give you a better clarity whether you're interested in pursuing that particular career or not. After you choose your career, okay, you choose between economics, you choose between biotechnology, and you choose between engineering. The 3 different domains. Now, once you choose these 3 careers, you list down what exactly goes into doing biotechnology. Which are the companies, which are the firms, which are the jobs that you would get after finishing biotechnology. You list down the courses after you finish, say, economics. What would you actually do? Where would you be working? Then you list something like psychology, say. You think about what would you, when you complete psychology, would you like to teach? Would you like to work in an NGO? And so on. Once you list these careers down and the skills required and the requirements, then you get a better clarity of whether you want to pursue that or not. Once you finish this, try and see the colleges. Now, what happens here is many a times we do all our groundwork of the careers, but at the last minute we have to take all our papers, all our credentials, our mark sheets, and run from college to college to see where we get admissions. But if you have a good academic record, you will get into the college that you most sought after, that you want to get into. So try and narrow down the colleges to make it an easier choice when in your application process. Explore, like I give you a lot of websites, I give you all books. Try and explore your career options through these websites. Go to careers360.com and explore the colleges, explore the career options that you could pursue within that area or within that course that you want to pursue. Many of times, when you're doing your 12th standard or when you're doing even your 11th standard, it could be that you need at this point of time to go for extra classes. When I say extra classes, you need preparatory classes. It could be NEET, it could be answering JEE or VITSAT. These are competitive exams that you probably require to get information, to get trained properly in the subjects. So I would say that get as far as possible, try to go for these courses in your 11th and 12th standard when you're pursuing your courses. It is much better at that point of time because then you're well prepared in answering the exams. Some of the exams, like some of you have asked me questions of UPSC exams. UPSC exams, NDA exams, students start preparing when they are in the 10th standard, 11th standard. They get books. You get books, students at places like Confidant, Broadway, a lot of books on preparatory exams for NDA, preparatory exams for IAS officers. So get your hands on these books and start preparing for these exams. Once you know and once you're well versed with what are the various subjects that you need to get prepared for, what are the kind of questions, solve mock papers so that you're well prepared. Then it would be an easier step for you to get into the courses that you desire. Making a decision is a hard thing for you at this point of time. Time and energy is important to invest to make a career decision. When I say career decision is something that you need to really sit and think whether you're choosing the right thing, what you really want to do. Who is the part? And once you make a career decision, remember your support system is very important. Maybe it's your parents, it could be your family, other family, extended family members. It's very important for you to have a good support system for you to make your choice. So look at the support system that you have, because probably once you make a choice, you will require a lot of financial support. You would require the backing of your family. You would require to be away from home for some courses. So the support system that your family, adjustments will be there. Support system from your family is very important. Taking action. Once you've all figured it out and you right now know that you have gone through your evaluations, you've prepared for listed your careers, you've prepared for the exams you need to answer, go to pursue your goal. That's going to be much easier for you because you have it all figured out, you have it all cleared, all figured out, all cleared, and it's going to be a much easier decision for you to make. Once you do that, sit with your family member or with your parent or with a counselor and meet and see whether it is close to your skills, whether it's realistic. Sometimes you want, like I have students who come to me, they do not like math and they want to take engineering. Now that's really does not match, it's not realistic, does not match your skills. If you do not like math and your performance in math is low, automatically your career in math and engineering will not be the best option for you. You could probably pursue it, you will get through it, but you will probably not be what you want to be. You will probably not able to create a niche for yourself. You will probably not be getting a very good career growth. So whatever you choose, let it be very realistic and close to your abilities or your skills. Are there any areas I need to still improve on? Is something whether you need to take still classes to get trained to answer the exams, whether you need to enhance your skills and suppose you want to be better in communication skills, language skills, okay, extend your knowledge in that particular subject. Look in the areas that you still need to improve and your support system. So this is a basic, if you look at this figure here or you look at this diagram here, it will tell you what is the cycle that goes into before you decide on your career, before you choose your career. First, you need to know yourself well. So you list down your careers here. Then you explore the options within the careers. What are the requirements? You make your decisions. You have your support. You take the action and you evaluate your decisions. Now, the career planning process is a long way. First and foremost is knowing your strengths. Whether you're more of a creative person, whether you're more of an indoor person, whether you have leadership skills, whether you have an excellent flair of writing, whether you love working with numbers, try and see what are your strengths. Once you know your strengths, once you know what you're good at, then you also match them whether these strengths go along with your interest. You could be very good at writing. You could be a very good creative person. But are you interested in making a career in journalism? Is what you need to know. Then your needs. Are you looking at more of income, a career which is more related to give you a high salary? Are you looking at growth, to grow in an industry? Generally, salary, income, growth, and come together. So once you do well in an industry, automatically you also you'll be very paid well. And you have to be personally fulfilled. Do not take a career just because to satisfy the needs of income, to satisfy your own self-image, but if you should be happy with what you choose. Read books. I have told you about some of the books that you could read, and there are a lot of other books on careers. Explore websites that I have mentioned earlier. Network as much as possible with people in that area. Internships, if you can do small summer jobs that you could take up, that could add value to your resume as well as to your career choice. Volunteer. Sometimes these short this internships that you take or job shadowing that you would be doing, maybe just volunteering. You may not get paid to it, but actually it will give you an insight into what is expected when you get into that career. Careers one-stop job summaries and videos is something that you could also look through websites to find more about careers. Factors affecting career choices. Some of the main things what students sometimes are very happy with their career or not happy is either they are very interested, that's why they pursue their career and they are fulfilled. Skills they have, your career has to match your abilities and your skills. There's no two ways to it that you say, I do not have the ability to do it, but I want to do it. I'm no good at art, but I want to become an artist. It does not go together. So you have to have the skills to pursue a particular area. Experience is also important. Like you get exposure, volunteering, exposure to summer jobs will give you the knowledge and information about that career. Family traditions plays an important role in making careers. Sometimes your parents are into business. You want to continue that particular profession, so you do your BBA, MBA, and get into business. Sometimes it also happens that you have family members who have done medicine, so you also want to pursue medicine. You take up that career. And personality is something that we spoke about. So how do we decide on a career? Look at your abilities. If you know it, excellent. Your aptitudes, your interests. If you know that, very good. If you do not know, I would recommend you visit a career counselor. You take a psychometric test and try to figure out what are your abilities. That will give you a better clarity. Your personality test would also come along with that, and how motivated you are. You could be very good. You could have a very good academic record. You could have a very good talent in music, but if you do not have the self-drive within you, it's not easy to pursue your career. So motivation is by itself part of career planning process. Now, if we look at some of the statistics that I just thought of listing them down so that it gives you a better clarity on where you stand, what is going to be happening in the next few years. I see that most of you are in the 10th standard, 11th standard, and 12th standard. And we see a lot of students, once they get into college, that's the time they want to change their courses. Why is it so happening? It's mainly because the clarity is not seen between students of 10th, 11th, and 12th. So a lot of students, about 60% of students, try to change their college career, try to change their subjects. Try to change their subjects. Education is fast changing, students. You're in the age group of, you're almost 16, 17, 18, 19, in that age group. So we see that you probably in the next 10 years, you would complete your education. Those who are right now in the 10th standard would in 2026, 2027 would complete. 12 standards also around that time would complete their education depending on what you want to do. And by 2030, it is said that India is said to have the largest working age population in the world. So you can see that with the amount, India has a population of 1.35 billion people. So you need how much people it's going to be competitive for you to actually get a career or make a niche for yourself in a particular career. The India Skills WebOx report also says that only around 46.21 people are employable. And why is that, students? Is because we see that a lot of students right now have knowledge of the subject, but they do not have the skill. And what industries are really looking at is whether you have the skill when you get into a particular profession. So what you need to do is when you're doing a course or when you're choosing a course, try to work on your skills as well. Get exposure into the job market or in the industries. I just wanted to show you some of the chart. I think it's a little small. Okay. So what we see here is that the population of India is huge. It's 1.35 billion people. A lot of students. We see that in 2015, it's a little old statistics, but a lot of it shows that in 2015, 2016, the number of students that went to abroad to pursue education, a lot of students who go abroad, finish their education and come back. That's where the competition is also for you. We see that how the educational system works in India. I will not touch till the secondaries because you have already done that. Upper secondary comes here. Then you have your university or your undergraduate degree or your bachelor's degree, what we would call, or you choose between doing a polytechnic course or a diploma course. Once you finish that, you choose to do a master's. Master's adds value to your subject or your course, which is very important because it will probably be a requirement when you get into the industry. Based again, if you're doing a BA or a BSc, I would definitely recommend that you do a master's degree. But suppose you're doing something like engineering, maybe an MTech will not be required because by itself, when you finish your engineering course, you're well skilled enough to get into the industry. If you want to get into teaching, suppose you finish your BA, BSc, you do your MA, MSc, and then you want to get into teaching, then you will have to probably answer the teaching exam, that is either the NET, which is you can teach anywhere in India, or you study the SET, that is the state eligibility test, where you can teach only within the state, or yes, within the state, basically. Networking. When I say networking is, we were speaking a lot about how important it is for you at this point of time to network with people. So try speaking to people through LinkedIn, through Facebook, and communicate as much so that you get information on the careers that you're interested in. Here comes the time where you really are not sure and you say, okay, I'm not interested in going through any website. I'm not interested. I've tried looking through various websites, but I cannot get the information. Where do I go? I'm still unsure of what to do. Here comes in the time when you would probably, I would recommend that you see a career counselor, because it will give you a better clarity of through a test of your strengths, of your weaknesses, of your goals that you want to achieve. And together with the counselor, the student, and probably your parent, it will be you'll get a better clarity of what choices to make. But generally, it is the career counselor will not be telling you which career to choose, but he or she will list down 2 or 3 careers which would be best suitable for you. And you would have to make the choice along probably with your parental support or your extended family support. So an aptitude test is what you would require to take if you're really not sure. That would follow with a guidance and a counseling session. A guidance and counseling session, it generally helps a candidate to shortlist at least 2 to 3 careers. The counselor generally will not tell you what to do, but will recommend 2 or 3 careers that could best fit with your abilities and with your interest. We'll tell you also the counselor sits. It is a one-on-one counseling session, so the counselor sits with you and kind of tells you what is the ups and the downs of each career which is listed and the guidance report. It gives you information on the careers, and generally I would recommend go to careers which are certified, go to counselors which are certified, which are trained, and would be able to help you with getting proper clarity on choosing your career. Now look, if you look at the report, it is something like this. That's what you look. If you see, this is one of the reports that I generated for you to show how a psychometric report, it may not make sense to you, but yet why I'm showing you this is because there are certain areas that the student has done very well, and there are certain areas that the student has done very well. So if you look, the student is good with cognitive, reasoning, his done verbal ability is good, his numerical ability is good. The student could probably get his interests also are fair, and knowledge, practical ability is good. Student could get into law, could get into journalism, could get into doing a BA in economics. So this is the way we try to sit and help the student in pursuing his career. So it gives a better clarity of what you are good at, what you're not so good at. Once the aptitude test is done, and you sit with the person and you generally have a personal interview where you tell the advantages and the difficulties in each career, and with a guidance report, which I've already spoken about. Okay, so before we go further down, we look at some of the careers that you could pursue with arts, if you do arts. Now what happens when you do arts is you would have a lot of confused choices to make. You want to do a BA. When you choose BA, you have BA in languages, you have BA in social sciences, you can choose in economics. Now, when you choose a course based on what you're interested in. Okay, suppose you're interested in English, take English as a language. You're interested in social sciences. When I say social sciences, it includes psychology, sociology. Yes, so these are some of the social science courses. Economics could be another option for you. BA in art. It's art, not arts. It's art. You could choose between fine arts, visual arts, performing arts. Some of the colleges that you could apply for fine art are, you could answer the NIFT exam, National Institute of Fashion Technology. You could get into NID, National Institute of Design, okay, and get into doing fine arts. Fine arts has various specializations, different specializations. It has textile design, ceramic, then it has fine art designing. So it depends on what you like, you will choose. That would be at a later stage, students. When you actually get into the college, you could speak to teachers within, they would be counseling you of what the specializations are and what you could be doing once you choose the course, or what could you expect once you finish your course. Visual arts is animation and graphics that you could pursue. Again, offered by some of the top institutes of in art and design like NIFT, NID, TIS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Miranda House, New Delhi, JD Institute of Fashion Technology. These are some of the top institutes in India. You will have an entrance exam for these courses. You got to start preparing for it right now, when you're in the 10th and 12th, 11th, because they are competitive exams. They're all India national exams. You'll have to start preparing for it. And once you are in the 12th standard, you will have to send in your application by September, October, and given your exam sometime at a later date that they will send you. Bachelor of Fine Arts, again, what I have touched. We also have a Fine Art College in Panjim. BDS in animation. Okay, you could do a Bachelor in Design, or you could do a Diploma in Animation as well. What we have in Chowgule College is a Diploma in Animation. Okay, we have also Diploma and Film. We have Diploma and Photography. So you could choose between either whether you want to do a Diploma course or a Bachelor in Design course. Animation courses also are offered in multimedia as a multimedia course and fine art colleges and National Institute of Fashion Technology, and this course is offered. BA LLB. Now let's go to law. Many of you might be also interested in pursuing a career in law. When I say law, there is a vast number of specializations which you could choose. It could be criminal law, corporate law, and so on. Now, some of the top colleges that offer law is NLSIU, NLU, NALS, NLU Delhi, NLSIU Bangalore. Sorry if I did not mention the name earlier, the place. NALSAR Hyderabad, NALSAR, NALSAR Hyderabad. You will have to give the common law admission test. When I say common law admission test, you have to start again preparing for it when you're in the 10th, 11th, 12th. Once you are preparing for it, many students also go for extra classes for these courses so that they can be able to crack these exams. Okay, these exams are something that will be asking you of your GK. Current affairs is very much you have to be updated with the current affairs. You have to have English. You'll have English and logical reasoning. So these are some of the things that you need to get prepared for if you want to get into the good law colleges. You have Symbiosis Law Colleges, which also has their own exam. If you want to get into Symbiosis Law College, you'd have to log into Symbiosis Institute Law College, their website, and check the exam that they have. ILS Law College, Pune also is ranked high in doing law. MIT Law College, Noida, and Bangalore Law College, Bangalore. So these are some of the colleges that you could opt for doing law. If you're interested in pursuing law, you'll have to look through the books. You'll have to look for the preparatory books which are available at Confidence, Broadway, and start preparing for the exam. BSc in Hospitality and Travel is also a very good course, students, and has a lot of scope. It's an upcoming career. In the next 10 years, there'll be a huge demand for it. Of course, with the current situation, we do not know what's happening, but currently there are a lot of people who are traveling. Hospitality is expanding a lot. So you could either choose between doing a BSc in Hospitality. We have our own in Goa, the BSc Institute of Hospitality, Sargankar Institute of Hospitality, which is in Raya. We also have the IHM, which is in Porgori, that is also the national, so you'll have to answer an entrance exam for that. Sargankar Institute of Hospitality has their own entrance exams, so you do not require to prepare for a national, but you will have to prepare for that exam, which probably they provide you the material for it. BSc in Design is another option that you could look at. When I say design, it could be clubbed again into the BA and art, where you could get into design. BSc in Design could be studied at the NIFT colleges. Bachelors of Journalism and Mass Communication, a lot of students are looking at this as an option. You could do that, bachelor's in journalism at some of the renowned colleges in India, some of them being the Indian Institute of Journalism and New Media in Bangalore, Symbiosis Institute of Media and Communication in Pune. Now, the students, whatever I'm telling you is most of them are after 10 plus 2. I hope so, that's clear. Lady Shriram College of Women, Delhi, Christ College, Bangalore. Look through their websites, and you could get a whole lot of information, because some of them ask for entrances, some of them don't. But if the college asks, you probably need to get updated with what is the syllabus, what would be the syllabus of the exam, and you'll have to crack the exam to get into these colleges. We BHM in hospitality and travel, which what I've already spoken about. Yes, mass media is something that I've again spoken about, which comes under journalism, and hospitality and travel is a repeat. Diploma in education is if you're interested in doing, you could do it after your 12th standard. It is something that you would require if you want to teach. If you want to teach students like say you want to teach primary section, okay, if you want to teach kindergarten, then you would probably need to finish a 12th standard and do a diploma in education. St. Xavier's Educational Institute and Portalian teacher gives you a diploma in education, you can do it there. BCA is also an option. Now for BCA, you require math. So for that, you'll have to have 11th and 12th standard arts with math, and then you could opt to, you'll have to answer an entrance exam. BC is offered at Depot College, it's offered at Rosary College. Science after 10 plus 2. Now, what could you do if you have done your science 10 plus 2, you could probably, and you want to do pursue careers with PCM. Now, suppose you want to pursue careers with PCM, one option for you is the NDA, that is the National Defense Academy. Again, they do have an entrance exam. Okay, but you have books that you get on NDA preparatory exam. You will have to get them from the bookstore for yourself and answer the exam. Okay, now for NDA, it is restricted to only male students, and it has an age group, if I'm not mistaken, between 17 to 24 years or 25 years is something that you have to be in that age group to answer the exam. You will have to be physically fit. That means your height, your weight should be good for you to get into the National Defense Academy. I have a website that I could share with you for pursuing your NDA. Go to nda.nic.in. That would probably give you a lot of information as to when the exam is held. Okay, generally it's out. The exam details are out somewhere in January. Yes, and then you will have to fill in your admit card, you fill in your details, and then you'll answer the exam. And then only the students who are selected will be, SSP collects the exam, will be able to get through it. Now, this process is quite long, and it goes up to live in June and August. But generally, it is divided into two parts. You can either do a BA or you can do a BSc. For a BA, it's more confined to humanities and arts. For a BSc, you will have BSc related subjects and you will have computer application. Now, if at a certain point of time you do not do well in that it's a little early for me to tell you that, but since I have information, I will share it with you. If you have, at a certain point of time, you do not do well in your BSc or your computer application, you will have to skip on that and you'll have to join the humanities program. The National Institute, that is the NID, which I was talking, which is again a design institute where you can learn about animation, multimedia, and design. These are national level institutes where you have to give your exams, entrance exams. I think I also spoke to you about, now why I put it here about NIFT and NID is because it's common to well-standard students who have answered arts and to students who have also answered science. So either if you just need to have your 12th standard to get into Fashion Technology Institutes or a National Institute of Design if you want to do. Generally, National Institute of Design, you would probably require maths, physics. These are the two requirements, but for Fashion Technology, you would just require 12th standard. Bachelor's in Business Studies is if you are interested in your BBA courses to do a BBA, then probably you would require to get into colleges which will offer you have business administration stage when you are doing your last year of graduation. So you have enough time, students, probably to decide on whether you want to take that course, whether you want to take that specialization, sorry, or not. Information technology is IT that you could also opt for, okay, which comes into software engineering, or you could do computer science, or you could do a BCA. Merchant Navy, some of you may be interested in joining the Merchant Navy. You could do that. There are a lot of colleges that are offering Merchant Navy, some of them being we have an NUSI Maritime Academy in Goa, we have the International Maritime Institute, IMI, India, Institute Tech and Marine Engineering, ITMI, Kolkata, TMI, Mumbai. You have to, for these universities which I have named, beside NUSI, you will have to give an entrance exam. There's a common entrance exam which is done by Indian Maritime University. You will have to answer, and you have to be having science student. You have to be a science student, and you will have to have physics and maths with 55% marks to appear for this exam. Some of the merchant navy institutes do not require entrance exams, but the ones which I have mentioned do require entrance exams. Architecture, for architecture, we have our own institute in Goa, the Architecture College in Panjim, where you will have to answer your NATA exam, okay, your architecture exam. Again, architecture does not call for having only science. You can be doing something like arts with math and get into architecture. So you have to be your main subject is maths. You will have to also prepare because they ask you questions on design, on drawing, on basically on design. Okay, a little of English and little of GK is what is asked. So you will have to prepare for this exam. BCA again, I've spoken to you. You can do it with arts, with science, but you will require math again. And you can opt for your 3-year undergraduate degree in pure science or applied science. Now, because I said pure science and applied science, some of the courses that you could do in science, I've listed them so that it's a little easier for you, especially the ones who are in the real standard, what to choose. Within science, you have chemistry, you have physics, you have zoology, geography and GIS is sub-GIS. You can do it after you finish your BSc in geography. We offer at Chowgule College, we offer you geography, BSc in geography. Mathematics and statistics is also an option. With statistics, you can get into actuary, you can become a statistician, you can work in multinational companies. Mathematics in a similar way, you can get into the banking sector and so on. Oceanography, you can do oceanography after you complete your biology, botany, and you do your MSc in oceanography at the university in marine science, basically. Biological scientist is what you can become, or biotechnology. After you finish your biotechnology is what you could choose to do. Genetics, the genetic scientist is what also you could opt to become after you finish your 12th science. If you still want more information, you could just put down this name and then Google search for the information, or you could come and meet me because there's a lot of information under each course, which is difficult to give it to you right now. Biochemistry is something that we as well have it at Chowgule College. And you can either choose between biotechnology or biochemistry. Okay, microbiology, Xavier's at MAPSA Office Microbiology. You could opt to do it after your 12th standard science, and you do not have to answer an entrance for it. And bioinformatics, which is a little bit of you learn biology with computers. Science with after 12, 10 plus 2 with PCB. What you could do with PCB is your medicine, many of you are maybe interested. You will have to answer your NEET, or you'll have to answer your GCET, or you'll have to answer the other state exams, common entrance tests to get into medical colleges. BDS is your dentistry, could be an option. And these are similarly linked with your medicine lines, that's homeopathy, Ayurveda. Physiotherapy is also a line which a lot of people, when they have different kind of problems related to bones and so on, we generally go and visit the physiotherapist. So physiotherapy is also an upcoming field. A lot of people, it's a well sought out job. Occupational therapy is also something that you could opt for. Okay, speech therapy. Veterinary science is working with is a science, a doctor with working with animals. You could opt for that. Human genetics, agriculture, and nursing. Now, if you want further details about what are the courses within, or what is the, if there are exams, or which could be the colleges, you could come and meet me at any later point of time, and I could give you a whole list of information related to these careers. I've just put the name list here so that you could either list down the career for you to Google search, or you could meet people within that domain or meet a career counselor and find out. Home science, careers in science, we can extend it at home science that you could probably do at, we have a home science college and Panjim. Nutritionist and dietitian course is also there. You could also opt for that at the home science college. There's a lot of scope for it. You can work as in hospitals. You could work at gyms and so on. Food technology is something that you could do a BSc in food technology, or you could do a biotechnology and then do an MSc in food technology after you finish BSc in food technology in biotechnology or biochemistry. Forensic science, for forensic science, you would probably require to do your MBBS, complete your MBBS, and then you could get into this MSc in forensic science, okay, or an MT forensic science, where they actually do autopsies, okay, they test the tissues. It's a study, so you could either opt for that. We have some of the colleges that offer forensic science. If you're interested in medicine and interested in that area, there are a lot of colleges that offer, like Gujarat Forensic Science University, Bangalore Medical College and Institute, AIIMS Delhi also offers courses in forensic science. Horticulture, if you're interested in agriculture, you could opt for it after your 12th standard. We have our Agriculture Institute in Goa itself in Kepe. You could do that course. It's a 3-year course. It's a well coming up field students. You just require to have 12th standard science. There's no entrance exam, so probably it is a good career for you to choose as well. And environmental science. Now for commerce students, again, what could you do with commerce? Either you continue with doing your graduation in commerce, or you bifurcate and get into doing your BCA, Bachelor's in Computer Application, or you complete your commerce, or you do your CA, cost accounting, company secretary. That will be post your graduation. Now, whichever courses which I have mentioned, you will probably need to research which are the institutes which are very good in that, and then get into, because once you finish your master's degree, that would be the certificate which will be accountable for you to get a good career or a good job. So try to do it from a good renowned institute whenever you complete your final courses which you intend to do. You also can do your hotel management course, which is applicable for after completing your 12th standard science, 12th standard arts, or you can do your commerce. Some of the colleges, like I earlier mentioned to you, you will require to give an entrance exam for hotel management, or you can do it. Some of the colleges give you direct admission. Law, we have spoken about some of the colleges that offer law that you could pursue. NID, National Institute of Design, suppose you're interested in animation, interested in graphic design, you're interested in fashion technology, you could opt for NIFT. SAT is an exam that you need to take if you're interested in probably pursuing the undergraduate degree abroad, especially in US and Canada. Of course, Australia and UK also accept SAT, so it is up to you whether you would want which place you. These are the places that generally, if you want to study undergraduate degree, you have to give that. If you want to go in for further education, you need to answer your IELTS. Okay, that will be the exam that you need to give to go abroad, study further, TOEFL, and NDA, which I have spoken to you and given you the website to see further information. Careers in art, some of the careers you could pursue is become a designer. That's what I'm saying is fashion designing, textile design, ceramic design, whatever interests you, you could get into the institute and then look at the specializations which you could pursue. Fashion technology is another option. Textile design, what I've spoken. Jewelry, accessories is all within the same college, what I'm talking. Once you answer the entrance exam to get into the fine art colleges, then you would have these as the multiple options that you could choose from. Interior and exterior design within comes within that again. So this is basically in art if you want to pursue careers with art. Cartoonist photography, you could do your BA in photography, getting into these courses, getting into these colleges, sorry, or you could choose a diploma courses. Now we offer a course, a diploma in photography at Chowgule College. That is a 1-year course. So you could either probably, if you're not too sure whether to get into a design institute and you just want to do a BA, you could choose to do a BA students, complete your BA and then maybe bifurcate and take your BA diploma in photography or diploma in animation or diploma in film and filmmaking and so on. Print journalism, when I'm saying, is something that is journalism that a lot of people are interested in, and that is something working with media houses, working with publishing houses, okay, working for journals, newspapers, magazines, okay. For that, you need to have a journalism courses. I've given you a list of the colleges that will offer journalism. Again, I'll repeat: Indian Institute of Journalism and New Media, Bangalore; Symbiosis Institute of Media and Communication, Pune; Lady Shri Ram College of Women, Delhi offers this BA in journalism. Christ College, Bangalore offers BA in journalism. Xavier's Institute of Communication, Mumbai also offers journalism as a course. So you could choose, if you're sure that you want to do journalism, you could do it soon after you finish your 12th standard. If not, you could complete your graduation and then you could do your master's in journalism. Mass communication is on the same lines as journalism, which I will not talk about. Electronic journalism is again working for media. Okay, you work for TV, you work and so on. Filmmaking is also an option that you could look at. Advertising is also a very sought after field. A lot of people are looking at that as an option, and public relations. Is also public relation is a part of journalism. Few other careers that you could look at is civil services. Now, civil services is, you could look into the website as civildaily.com or clearias.com. Civil services exam, generally students, you need to answer it after you finish your graduation. Okay, you can give a maximum of 6 attempts for civil services. It's one of the highest ranked positions, government positions in India. You take a lot of decisions, a lot of administrative responsibility comes to you. It depends whether you're really interested in that career. You need to be well prepared for that career. So you need to have, they have basically different MCQ kind of questions and different areas. Like you have your English paper, you have your subject, like if you have taken political science, economics, math, whatever you want, you choose that particular paper. And beyond that, you also have your GK and logical reasoning, which will be for you to prepare for these exams. Since they are very competitive exams, I suggest that you put your hands or start right now preparing for these exams, because there are around 8 lakh students or so who would appear for these exams, out of which only 7,000. 800, 900 posts, 7,000 go into the mains. There are 2 exams for it. That is the preliminary level exam and the main exam. So the preliminary, a lot of students can attend it, given the exam. And if they do not clear that exam, then they do not go into the main exam. So only students who clear the preliminary level can go into the mains. So you need to be well versed with the current affairs. You need to be well versed with your subject. You need to be well versed. You have to have a good flair of English. So reading is very important. So if you get prepared well for these exams with books, with solving this, because these are also timed exams. You cannot have extended period of time your exam which will go. So within a certain period of time, you will have to finish your papers. You have to try giving earlier, try taking these tests earlier so that you are well prepared when you have to give this exam. So log into these websites and you will probably get to know about the details when these exams, generally they held twice a year and so on. But you will get all the details which you most seek about on these websites. Forestry service also comes as one of the civil exams. If you want to get into doing economics, becoming an economist and work in banks, in the stock market, in industries, in multinational companies, you would probably need to do your economics, BA in economics, MA in economics, and then get into, or you could do your BA in economics and do your MFS, Masters in Financial Service, and get into the banking sector and so on. Psychology is another option that you could consider. You have BSc in psychology and you have a BA in psychology. It depends what your interests are. Again, I will not touch upon the various areas, but if you're interested in psychology and making a career, there are a lot of job opportunities within psychologists. You can come and meet me, or you can Google search for information. Social workers is also within, whether you do an MSW, you finish your graduation in BA and do an MSW, and Masters in Social Work could be an option. So you don't need a BSc or a BCom, you just need a BA or a BSc or a BCom, anything. You just need a graduation is what I say, and then you can do a Masters in Social Work. Army, Navy, Air Force to enter is your NDA exams, which you'll need to give after your 12th standard science, for which you need your physics and your maths with 55% marks. Once you get this marks, you'll have to go to their website, look into that is the nda.nic.in, look into the information when these exams are held and what exactly you need to get prepared and answer these exams to get into the NDA also. Physical conditions are also very important, physical fitness, I mean. Teaching is again, for teaching, I had earlier said that what you really require, but if you want to teach the lower classes, you need your 12th standard with BA. But if you want to teach higher classes, you want to teach at graduate level, or you want to teach till 10th standard, secondary level, I mean, in higher secondary. For secondary, you would need to finish your graduation and do your BA. For higher secondary, you need to finish your graduation, you need to do your master's in that particular subject and your BA. For teaching college, you will need your graduation, your master's, and you need to answer your NET or your SET exam. Okay, so these are some of the options you could do. And if you want to teach at the master's level, then you will need to do MEd, that Master's in Education. Social workers, so we have spoken about teaching, sports and physical education. There are a lot of colleges that offer sports and physical education. Some of them being TIS offers, if I'm not mistaken, social physical education. Then Dartmouth College offers physical education as a course. Library science, you could opt for library science at this offers library science in Mumbai. Okay, you could do your library science over there. Okay, you could also do it at Dharwad University offers library science. IGNOU offers library science. A lot of colleges require librarians. If you're interested in books, if you're interested in this area, you could probably look into for further information or look into these colleges for seeking admission. Most of the admission is direct. You do not need to answer an entrance exam. Special education is Nirmala's education, Nirmala's Institute and Panjim offers special education. You could either look at doing it at Nirmala's or you could do it at outside Goa at this Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Mumbai. Now, when you work with being a special educator, you would either work at an NGO, you would be working at schools, you would be working at special education centers that are set up. So these are some of the places that you would find where you would seek your jobs in, but you have to be interested in it. You have to have a lot of patience, you have to like working with children and so on. You could do a psychology and then pursue also special education. Health, fitness, and beauty is something I need not. You could do a diploma in health and beautician course. Okay. Similarly, you have ITI courses which offer these short-term courses of 6 months to 1 year. Look into those ITI courses. A lot of colleges, which I'll speak a little later, which offer these courses. Foreign languages, you could be opt for you if you want to teach foreign languages. You could look at it as options with colleges that offer foreign languages. Suppose it could be French, it could be Portuguese, German. In Goa, we have more of certificate courses for foreign languages, but we have right now we have BA in Portuguese that's offered at in Chowgule College as 3 papers. We have BA in Portuguese that is offered at the university, which is a full 6-paper course. Similarly, we also have French that is offered at Chowgule College. If you're interested in these foreign languages, you could seek admission. Here, French is also offered at the university. You could do a master's in French at the university. Historians, suppose you want to become an archaeologist, historian, archivist, curator is somebody, a person who takes care of museums, looks after the museum. If you're interested, you would have to do your history and then your MA and history and then get into this career. Like I earlier spoke about print journalism, but a little more about it. You could work in newspapers, journals, and as you could work as a reporter, columnist, commentators, editors. Web journalism is an option that you could look at. You either do a diploma in journalism, okay, or you could opt for a diploma in media and communication. I've listed some of the colleges that you could look at. A BA in script writing, which also could be a good option for you. Ramesh Sippy Academy of Cinema and Entertainment offers a BA in script writing, where they will teach you how to break up a story, how to keep it more interesting, how to keep it more interested, how to basically write script in a certain structure is what is taught to you. So if you want to get into the film industry, if you want to get into the media industry, then probably script writing is something that you could look at. Bachelor's of Communication and Journalism is something that I've already touched upon. Now, some of the places that you could probably seek employment once you finish your mass communication or your journalism, you could get employment at TV, the radio, newspaper, Press Trust of India, proofreading, composing, program announcer. These are some of the work areas that you could get into once you complete your course. Mechanical students, those students who are interested in engineering and want to get into mechanical, automobile is more defined as restricted to automobile. Mechanical is supposed to be the father of automobile engineering. So if you want to be having expanded knowledge, then probably you want to get into the large scale, medium scale, small scale industries. You probably could seek after looking at mechanical as an option for you to do. Okay, so what you do within mechanical is you look after the maintenance, the production, the quality control within in different industries, in automobile industries, and other IT related industries and so on. Academics is something you could teach. Government offices is where you could also look at working. IT services like design and modeling is also would be taught to you as when you do the course. Civil engineering is also an option for you when you get into, this would be one of the specialization within engineering, where you can get into constructions, that's land developers, work in the industry or the private sector, work in the NGO, PWD, self-employed, set up your own firm, set up your own office and be a civil engineer and work independently. Computers and information science, if you're interested in, you could get into software programming, working with software. So you can work in BPOs, you could work in call centers, you can work in IT-enabled industries, web designing, repair and maintenance, and networking. And that is about it. So I think we are done. So if you have any further questions, you could always email me on ssm004@showcase.ac.in. You could also call me on my number, which is up there, or you could, once the college reopens for students and the restrictions are pulled out, then you could probably visit and meet me if you want to take a psychometric test or you want to clarify certain doubts and seeking your careers and getting certain clarifications. But I think there are a few questions that I would like to address before I end my session. One being, a student has asked me what is the general career guidance? What I think he's trying to ask, what can I do after 10th standard? His question is general career guidance after 10th standard. So if you're in the 10th standard and you're really not sure what to do, have given you a complete session of how to list your abilities, how to list your interests, and then try and see what best would be suitable for you. Because careers by itself you will do well in a career, but what is important is whether you're interested in that career, whether you want to pursue that career, whether you have the abilities to pursue that career, whether you want to pursue that career in the next 30 years. But at a certain point of time, if you're not interested and you want to jump into another career, then that's a difficult decisions that you have to take. So it's better that you try, if you're not sure, try to seek career guidance from a career counselor, or do a lot of reading through websites, meeting people through networking, and so on. What about IES and NDA exams? I think I have touched upon the IES exams, that you will need to go to clearies.com, civildaily.com. Look at the exams over there. You have books that will be available for you at Confidant. Try getting your hands on it so that you get to start preparing for these exams. I told you there are two levels, that is the mains and the preliminary exam. You'll have to clear the preliminary exam. This preliminary and the mains is the MCQ, but you have to clear the preliminary exam before you want to get into the main exam. Okay, and then you have to be updated with your current affairs. So reading is very important. Keeping yourself updated with all the current affairs and journals, and read magazines, different science magazines, read different current books on current affairs, read the newspaper daily. It will keep you updated. And then you have English. You have to have a good flair over the language, okay, or over English to answer, because there are a lot of questions related to English. Logic and reasoning is also a part which they will ask you. And your subject domain, that's what I said. If you're a political science, you choose that subject, political science, and you have questions related to that. If you're economics, you choose economics and you have subjects related to that. NDA, so that's about IES exam. NDA also I have spoken. You have to be a 12th standard science students. You have to do your physics and maths with a percentage of 55%. Then you log into their site, nda.nic.in. You will be able to fill in all the details. Exams, generally the entrance exams start, admission starts somewhere in January, and the exams somewhere held in June. But now I think there's, because of the coronavirus, there is a delay in the exams. Exams are postponed. Physical fitness is also an important factor for NDA, but not for IES exam. Okay. You also have, beside IES and NDA, you could also check out foreign services. Okay, answering the foreign services exam. If you're interested in foreign services, if you're interested in working for the Indian embassy, the embassies, then probably if you give a foreign exam, a national foreign exam, IES exam, foreign services, then you could get into working for the foreign services. Another question that has come to me is, how much does a master's matter in any field? Again, that would be depending on what you're doing. Like I spoke to you, okay, if you're going to be doing architecture, if you're going to be doing something like law, if you're going to be doing something which is professional, like engineering, you need not do a master's. You can you're skilled enough to get into the industry to work directly. Now, suppose you're going to be doing something like a BA or a BCA, or say you're going to be doing BSc. Yes, you definitely would require to do your master's to add value to your education when you get into the industry. Because like I said, students, by itself, when we do a BA, suppose I take, for example, a BA in psychology, you're specializing only in psychology. You're not specializing within the fields in psychology. Once you complete your master's, you would probably at that point of time decide which specialization, whether you want to do clinical psychology, counseling psychology, industrial psychology. This holds for all the other courses within BA and BSc or ME or MSc when you're doing. So once you specialize, it is more defined as to you will get into that career and what career is associated with that specialization. So I suggest if you're doing BCom, BA, BA, BSc, kindly do your masters. I would suggest that would add value to your credentials. which courses impart skill training in ITI course. There are a lot of courses which are ITI courses, and we have the ITI college at multi-purpose. Okay, you have secretarial courses there. You have short-term other courses and networking, which is taught over there. Hardware networking, which is taught over there. You have also stenography, various short-term 6 months to 1 year courses which are offered at the multi-purpose college. I would suggest students, why don't you go there and get your hands on the book. You could probably get a better clarity on that. Then, what are the options? What are the career options available if I take PCB as a subject? I think I have answered your questions. All the courses that you could probably pursue after doing your PCB are listed for you, and probably if you could get that cleared, you could do your medicine related to medicine, you could do physiotherapy, you could do biotechnology, you could do biochemistry. Okay, you could do nursing, you could opt to take nursing, you could do microbiology. Again, that would depend on what you're interested in. Again, she's also said, also, what does it take to become an IAS officer? I told you require a basic graduation to do an IAS officer. If you want to do medicine, that's up to you, and then appear for IAS officer's exam. But then there's an age limit that will come when you to answer the exams. Okay, maximum you can give 6 attempts for this exam, and your preparations have to start early in advance. Another student has asked me a question. I would like to know the subjects in arts in 11th and 12th. I think I've answered. Your subjects are economics, social sciences, and languages is what you would choose. Again, these are the courses. You would have history, you would have geography, you would have political science, you would have economics. Again, choose on the subjects that you would probably like and you would further want to do when you get into college. So basically, choose your subjects in a way that will help you to further do your graduation in arts. And some of the best, I don't know if it's your set, I want to know best colleges in Goa or higher secondaries. I understand that you are in the 10th standard, so you will look at higher secondaries. We have Loyola, which offers higher secondary in BA and BSc. We also have Rosaries that has BA and BSc. We have Commerce and BA. We also have Presentation Higher Secondary, which offers courses in arts. So you could opt for that. I want guidance about courses that I should take up after 12th arts. I think I have touched upon the courses that you could pursue after arts, professional courses, BA in graduation. If you have any further doubts or need clarification, I would suggest you come and meet me and we could probably have a one-on-one session and you'll get that clarified. Another student has asked me, is geology better stream than computer science? Geology is a different subject altogether. Okay, you would probably study about geophysics and mining within geology, and you would be working in industries like ONGC, Coal India, National Mineral Development Corporation, Indian Bureau of Mines. These are some of the top-notch companies that you would be working for. But again, that depends if you're interested in geology. Okay. Computer science has a wide scope. We know the demand is huge for computer applicants, computer professionals right now, be it in the software industry, be it in the hardware. And now with online classes and everything going online, there'll be even more demand for this area. So again, I would suggest to you that I think you choose the career based on what you like. Okay. Now, geology does not require math. Computer application will require a mathematical background. So if you like computers, you like math, go in for doing your BCA or your computer science or software engineering, whatever you choose. If you like more of studying about, say, biology or studying geology or pure science, then you could opt for taking a BSc in geology. So these are some of the questions I think I've answered. I hope I have clarified all your doubts. Students, if you still require any information, you require any assistance, I would be glad to help you. You could call me up, or you could send me an email. We could take an aptitude test. Now we take an aptitude test, online aptitude test. It's completely, you don't need to visit the center, you don't need to visit the college. We take online aptitude tests. We do an aptitude test to get a better clarity on what you want to choose if you're really unsure, and we'll get all your doubts cleared. Thank you for attending the session, being patient with me. I wish you all the best and have a good evening.
There's only one. Nobody is watching you.
So what? The talking was not. So the whole session was like that. What happened then? Damn, the session.